Before we go on and look at this standard in detail at the 5th grade level, let's look at a few visual approaches for division. These are approaches that students will have seen in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade to help underlie the conceptual meaning behind division. One of these is counting groups in a place value model. So for example, if we have 36 divided by 3, we take the dividend and write it in a place value model as follows. We start with columns, 2 columns, tens and ones in this case, and the 3 dots represent 3 tens in the 36, and the 6 ones are represented with 6 dots here, and so we have this number 36. Dividing by 3 involves taking all the tens we have and creating 3 equal groups, likewise with the ones. And so when we do that, we can keep track of it this way. When we take the 3 tens and break them into 3 equal groups, we get 3 groups of 1, and these are the 3 tens in our 36. With the ones, we can break them into 3 groups of 2, and we have 3 groups of 2 ones. And now what we have is 3 groups of a 10 and 2 ones, a 10 and 2 ones being 12, and so we have that when we divide 36 by 3, we get 12. This also connects back to multiplying because we have 3 12s, or 3 times 12, which gives us our 36 that we started with. Another approach is to use an area model. Let's use a different example, 11 divided by 2. We start out this time by imagining a grid, or actually drawing a grid, and we notice that when an area model has the 2 sides are the 2 factors that create the number. And so one of the sides is going to be of length 2. And so let's make a rectangle with one side of length 2. And now the question is, what should this other side length be? And we know that 2 goes into 11 5 times plus a little bit more. So we'll make that second side length 5, and we create this rectangle, which is 10 units. But we didn't want 10 units, we needed 11 units, and so we have this 1 left over. So 2 goes into 11 5 times, and that'll give us 10, and then we have 1 left over, which we can write as R1. Later we'll get to that being 1/11. A third approach is to use the standard algorithm, and in this case we hope that students have been connecting this standard algorithm to these diagrams and models all throughout 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade, so that by the time they get to 5th grade they're using this quite a lot, and in 5th grade basically we're mostly going to be focusing again on procedure, which is the algorithm. So here's an example. We want 86 divided by 5, and now we're going to write the dividend inside this divide symbol and the divisor outside. And the first question is to see how many times does the divisor go into this first, the highest value digit, the 8, in the dividend. And we know that 5 goes in to 8 one time, and when we multiply 1 times 5, that's the next step, multiply 1 times 5, we get 5, and that is written below the 8, and we're subtracting. Now what this 5 really is 50, because this 1 is really a 10, and that's because the 8 is really an 80, and 5 goes into 80 10 times, and that'll make use of 50 of our units. 1 times 5 is 50. So let's see what we've got left when we take 50 away from 86. We get 36. Often people write the 0 right here, or other people will just say, let's bring down the 6. I remember learning it that way. But this is really a 50, and when we're taking 50 from 86, we get 36. And now we know that the next question is, how many times does 5 go into 36? Well, it doesn't go 10 times, it goes less than